G'day fellas, and welcome to something a little bit different. This is Dune Spice Wars. We are taking a look at the early access game that is available now on Steam. This game is a little bit of a hybrid between, I think, something like Stellaris and Civilization, if you've ever played Civilization. It'll look a little bit familiar to you. You've got all those similar resources, but things get different because it is actually real-time strategy as well. Let's jump in and I'll show you exactly what I'm talking about. So you've got 4 civilizations that you can choose from. They've all got different bonuses and affect the way that you play. Me, as one of the bigger guys, I had to go with my natural brethren, as you can see, House Harkonnen. I feel like role-playing as one of the Hutts from Star Wars is probably, it's right up my alley. So I was like, I don't even care what you do. That is me. Look at that guy. Oh my lord, it looks like Willy Wonka. It looks like the purple. What's her name? Violet? Oh geez. Now, when I pick my civilization, quote unquote, or my house, I'm also going to have a number of counselors that I can pick from that also change the way that the game plays, or depending on what I want to do. So these are kind of like your advisors that just augment your gameplay style. So as an example, I like to take this guy, Rabban Harkonnen. He increases my militia slot and also increases the duration of oppressions. And I love oppression. That is great fun. And I also chose this guy here because he's got a red beard, and sometimes if I grow my beard out, then I also, like, it starts a bit of a red tinge. So I was like, you know what? I kind of like him. This guy is bald. I'm not bald yet, but I am balding. So watch out, Peter DeVries. We'll come back. All right. So we hit start game. At the moment, it's in early access. There's no multiplayer yet. My understanding is that that is going to get added. And welcome. This is it. This is your starting little base. So what we're going to do is just queue up some military to start with. I'm going to go for 1 ranged unit. That's a gunner. And 1 melee unit. That's a trooper. And these guys have got different bonuses depending on how you want to use it. I'm also going to get one of these little guys, ornithopters, which are basically like little drones. You command these drones. So I'm going to chuck them in a control group. You can see I've got the control groups for them there. And what I'm looking for is this little symbol down here. This is Spice, and that's what the name of the game is, right? It's Dune Spice Wars. We're having wars over the spice. Anybody, you guys know, like, whoever controls the spice controls the world, that classic thing, and that is what we're doing. So we're looking for that spice, and we have indeed found them, though it looks a bit far away. What's going on over here? Okay, I can see. So essentially, there are hexes in this game, but they're not all perfect little hexes. They are, you can see my starting hex has probably got 6 sides, I suspect, something like that, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. But these ones are a little bit different. They are all over the place. So what am I going to do? This little dude here, he is going to be doing some research or some scanning. He is looking into what is next to us here, because once he finishes, he's going to be finding a nice little town for us to take. We're going to jump in because we've just landed. That is, I don't know too much about the lore for this game. I'm going to be real with you guys. I haven't been playing for very long. I think I've invested like an hour up until this point, and I'm jumping in just to show you guys what I know. So we're going to send our melee guys up the front. We're actually just going to right-click on the dudes at the back, because just like him, we've got 1 melee and 1 ranged guy. But what we're going to do is, with our melee guy attacking the ranged ones, you can see that they have a negative multiplier here, or negative effect. It's called pin down, and you can see, look at the micro coming out right now. Micro coming out from my opponent. He's looking to try and do some damage here. Whoa, look at the rocket! That was actually pretty sick. That was pretty sick. All right, we won't worry too much about that. That's not too relevant. We should be able to win that. We should be able to win that without too much of a hassle. We'll put that guy on control 2. Put this one on control 3, and then we got to make sure that everybody's focusing each other, or doing the right thing. So what's happening here? So we are looking to secure the spice. There's a nice little existing city that's here, a little town. So we're essentially just sending our units in to go and capture that. So that is a very normal part of the game. Most your games will typically look like that in the beginning of the game, and of course we get this beautiful top-down view as well. If you've ever played Civilization in the strategic mode, that is what you're going to see. And now we're going to do this little thing. We're going to take control for your faction, and that's going to cost us 5 water. You can see we've got the water resource up the top here, and it also costs you authority. Authority is a faction's leadership, or it represents a faction's leadership and reach over the regions. So there are ways that you can increase that, but that is going to be your resource that prevents you from expanding like crazy amounts. Like you could see, like we could probably be looking to expand out into all these different territories right now, but we're not able to do that because we might not have the authority, or we might not have the water to do it. So just to run you through a couple of the things, now you can see that we've unlocked this, so we've got access to our spices. So we'll jump up here, and what we're going to do is within this little town, we're going to drop down our first building. It is going to be a refinery. So we are all about that spice, and it's going to take us 3 days before that's completed. So in that time, we're going to head back. We're going to heal up, as you can see. Our trooper, he is healing up, but ideally we want to go to max health. And we're going to start looking for our next victim, and I think this might be it. Let's have a look. The wind strength is good down here. We typically want to go somewhere. Our next expansion should be something where there is good wind. Now, there is also good wind up here. This is a 6, so we could look to go for that, but it is a bit far away. And you guys might look at that and think, well, it's a bit far away. What does that mean, Drongo? Well, can you see the distance that we've got to go to get there? So we've essentially got supplies, and as long as you're in your territory, your supplies, they're going to be fine. But the longer you make your way out towards your enemy's base, the supply is going to get slowly but steadily drained. I guess one of the things I can show you here is if you can see the little clouds here, whereas this has no clouds. It's just kind of like the how would you say? It's like the carbon fiber that you'd see on like a Tesla on the inside. It's like that sort of thing. Whereas these are the clouds. So this is your map, essentially. All of these are hexes underneath here. I'm not sure exactly how many hexes there are, but so we're essentially up against the right-hand side. So I know that I'm not going to be getting backdoored. No ram ranches today going to be happening for me. And as a result, it means I can sort of put my back against the wall. We're going to head up towards this position, though, and I'm just going to right-click it like that. You can be a little bit sneaky and just sort of walk up to it, but I like to let them know that I'm coming. We're going to actually make sure that we keep our gunner in the back as well, just so that they don't come out like they did before. And we'll continue searching. This guy's going to continue doing his thing down here. Now, there are also other types of resources. Now, we've got one thing ticking up here. There's going to be our research. I know it's going to look complex when you come into it, but, you know, as I said, if you've ever played Civ or if you've ever played Solaris, something like this should look pretty similar. So I'm not going to go through all of them for you, but essentially you've got your military stuff up here, your intelligence. That's correct. We've got surveillance, espionage in here. You've also got access to sort of, I don't even know how you'd call this, like more economic-based stuff. And then down here, you've got more manufacturing, that type of good stuff. So I'm going to start off with composite materials, work my way up to structured warehouses. We've had ourselves a little bit of a battle. I got to be careful not to lose my units out here. I failed to micro here because I was talking a little bit. What do we got? Sandworm. Sandworm detected. Hold on a minute. That's not good. Sandworm, not good. Oh, this isn't good. My trooper is like, he's actually dying. I got to be careful here. I'm trying to micro away from the sandworm and at the same time still do damage on the base of my enemy. If that sandworm comes out, it will absolutely fuck you up. And I'm not even kidding you, dude. Like, sandworms, fuck. All right, well, looks like we got the victory. We're going to be capturing this point. And remember, down towards the south, we looked to get our refinery up. Well, congratulations, we have. We're going to deploy our harvester. We're also going to add some crew to it so that our harvester is doing a bit more. And he's going to come down towards this position. He's going to go down towards the spice fields. And he'll be looking to collect some spice, as you do in a spice field. But up towards the north, we're going to, after we capture this point, I mean, realistically, we should probably be looking to walk back just because we can get out here. We only need to keep one of these guys here. So now we are... Now we've captured this point. Where do we go from here? Well, we're going to add in another building up here. Now, one of the things that's really important in this game is water. That is correct. Water. New village controlled. Indeed, there is a new village controlled. It is one that's controlled by me. So water's going to be really important. And how do you collect water on Dune? This is not Mars, but I suspect you could probably bring along the same technology, something similar. The way that you do it is actually through wind, apparently. So if we go down to the bottom left-hand corner of the screen, you can see that there's wind strength 10 over here in the deep desert. This one's got 4. We've got over here a 4 as well. So essentially, the higher that you get, the more water that you're going to be achieving. So if we jump in like this into our little town, I'm going to hit this button here, and we're going to take a look at that's plascrete, which is basically, I like to think of it as like your iron ore, that sort of thing. So we are going to go for a wind trap. It's a bit expensive, but we're going to put it down. So plus 3 water for each level of wind in the region. So we're going to drop that bad boy down right there. So that's going to give us a total of 18 water, which will be pretty nice because every single time you look to go and capture, a new town, when I say capture, it's with quotation marks. Just remember, we're not really capturing it. We're liberating it, right, guys? Right? We're liberating it, okay? So when every time that we go and do that, we're going to need to bring water. It's one of those things where it's like, well, if you want to come to the party, you're going to have to bring the water, fellas. That sort of thing. And so that's what we're doing here, because if we do look to go and capture our third town, we're going to need that water. Like, you're probably going to need 5 water. There you go. It literally tells you we would need 5 water and 51 authority. We're not going to have the authority for it. So one of the things that we could even do, we could just look to raid it. I don't even think that would be a bad idea. What do we got over here? Getting started. So this is like your it kind of comes up with like quests just to help you. We've got an unassigned agent. Hold on. We're in battle. We're in battle. All right, what do we got? It's a 2-on-1. Okay, here we go. All right, I'm going to try and kite these guys around like this and bring them back. I want to keep them interested. And then I'm going to make my way here and just hopefully... Actually, we want to focus this guy. Actually, we want to keep this guy engaged in melee because he's got the 50% power. Oh, no, no. Oh, no, the Sandworm, the Sandworm. Oh. Watch out for the Sandworm. Why does the Sandworm always come around, dude? Those Sandworms, they will fuck you up. I'm not even kidding you, man. You gotta be careful of the Sandworm, dude. You can see it's somewhere around here. It could literally just come out at any second and absolutely devour us. I'm just gonna keep microing. Why aren't my shots firing off? What? Alright, we're good. I can't see the ground moving anymore. I don't think the Sandworm... Yeah, I think the Sandworm has gone home. Alright, we're good. We are good. Okay, so now we can make a choice. Do we want to pillage? So we can pillage like the Mongols would and take some gold, or do we just wait it out until we've got 51? I'm pretty tempted to wait it out, but yeah, I think we just wait it out. I'm gonna send my trooper back home. He can go heal up, and we'll just chill for now. So one of the other things, so this is the espionage screen I'm about to show you guys. So you essentially have spies or agents. You know, if you've ever played Civ 5, you'll be familiar with that. I think Civ 6 has got it as well. It's been so long since I played Civ 6, though. I can't remember it exactly. So I've got an agent, and I can choose what I want to do with him. Now, I can go and look to spy on one of the other people that are playing in this game, or I can look to, you know, put him in counterintelligence. But what I'm going to do is actually look to put him in one of these 4 things. So these are basically gives you different attributes depending on where you want to put him. So you can put it in Chome, which we'll talk about in a little bit. But I like to get him starting off in Arrakis because that is going to be helping out a huge amount with my authority. As you can see, authority, that's what we use to capture. And you guys know I am I'm a big fan of capturing things. I like taking people's stuff. But up towards the north, we've got the start of our wind trap. So this guy's going to be providing our water. I don't know exactly what the technology is behind that, but I've been assured that the water is going to be very plentiful here. So in addition to this, we're going to add in a second building. So we're going to add in our plascrete factory. Now this is going to give us 30 plascrete. 30 plascrete here, you might look at that and think, Drongo, that's crazy. Why are you putting plascrete production over here when you just expanded down towards this position where you have access to minerals, which has plus 50% plascrete factory resource production? And that's a really good point, Johnny. I'm glad that you brought it up. Well, my friend, the good news is we are going to be putting it here as well. But you got to be careful with it. You got to be careful with it because when it comes to your plascrete isn't the only resource that you got in the game. In fact, there is other resources as well, and we're going to be looking for it. In fact, that is our resource. No, we're not looking for rare. We're looking for... let's see if I can find it. I'm going to try. That's a giant... Man, is it just me or am I surrounded by giant deserts? There, that's the one that we're looking for. We are looking for energy sources. So this is where we're going to be heading next. So everyone's going to be jumping back over here. So let's go heal up. In fact, do we even need to heal up? We might not even need to heal up. We've got a new technology. Let's jump in. Let's have a look and see where we're gonna go. Let's go to structured warehouses. I like that opening. So this is going to enable us to unlock the processing plant building, which will give us a little bit more of flexibility with regard to the way that we play. We've got everybody out here doing things, doing work. So now what we're doing is also looking for spice. Spice is going to be really important for us to find. And you can see that we're out here now looking. These question marks are going to denote the potential for resources. So each resource that you see here was once a question mark. You know, down towards the south here, this was once a question mark over here, the rare elements, but we obviously worked it out. These guys up here, what is it? The geothermal, I think it is. Yeah, geothermal energy. These guys were once a question mark, but not anymore. Not anymore. So let's put our gunner on the back line. I think we might get in some more military as well. We might get a second gunner. What do you guys reckon about that? A second gunner. We're going to recruit a second gunner. We're just going to attack, and everybody's still doing work at this point in time. I'm pretty happy with how it's going. What do we got? Combat ongoing over here. Now, it looks like we've got two ranged here, and what is this? We've got combat ongoing, construction complete, unassigned agent. We're going to assign an agent. We'll chuck him in over here as well. The more influence that we can get, or the more of this resource here, the authority that we can get, the better. Let's check in on our little helicopters. They're all good for the moment. And so we're going to be looking to capture up this one. We've got plenty of water in the bag. We've got plenty of authority. I think it's going to take probably about 40 authority to capture this one. Let's have a look and see. 54 authority. So maybe it would have been a good idea to come here first, because one of the big things that we're going to need here are fuel cells. You can see that we've got fuel cells that are being used by our ornithopters. But we're also going to be using that for our refineries. So our first refinery is over here towards the east. But if we want to add in a second refinery, which we will, because that's how you get dollars, then that is what we're going to need to do. So we're going to chill out. We're going to wait here. We might send out our heavily damaged guy back over that way, and we'll think about potentially expanding up to here. Now, I think I should be able to get away down here with a plascrete. I don't think this... It just says it uses the upkeep of plascrete. So basically, I'm paying for plascrete, and I'm making plascrete. And it's just like... This is nanobots, essentially. I pay for 6 plascrete, and I get 45 plascrete. Like, it is just... This is just... What's the word I'm looking for? Ponzi scheme. It is essentially a Ponzi scheme, but it seems to actually work. So, we're going to put that down there. Hopefully, that doesn't force us to run out of fuel cells. And what else have we got here? Village under siege. I'm in siege in the north. Everybody to the north. Everybody to the north. So, it looks like some of the locals have gotten a little bit upset that I knocked out one of their brethren. And now, as a result, they've made their way over towards this position. And now they're going to be looking to run a siege. And if their siege is successful, they will liberate the village. I'll have to come back up here. I'll need to do everything again. And as you can see, you know, this is where all my water is coming from. So I kind of need for that siege not to be working. Now, in the meantime, you can see that our water is missing because of the siege. We got a trade request. We got a trade request. Excuse me, sir. What? Greetings. Hello. How are you? So he wants a research agreement. So it's going to reduce our authority, but give us extra knowledge, and he's going to give us gold, and we're going to give him... This is like the influence that you use to vote for shit. Yeah, that's right. There's like a voting thing that goes on. Let's see if I can locate... Okay, one of the things I forget is that, like, because it's an RTS game, you guys know... Have you guys ever played Civilization and you're just waiting for the last guy to fucking take his turn, and you're like, come on, Jerome, it has been 6 minutes. What are you doing over there? He's like, I need to move my battleships. It's taking too long. I'm sorry, guys. It's like, Jerome, you don't need to worry about that here, mate, because the game keeps going on. You're in a cutscene, bad luck. And now we see Rise to Power. It's you will now, hold on. Now you will need troops to take control of the village we spotted near the spice field. So I don't know if that's referring to a new spice field. Is there a new spice field? I think it's referring to the old spice field. All right. Well, we got plenty of water. We got plenty of authority, and we're gonna capture up this point. We're gonna look to secure our energy sources, and we're gonna keep expanding at this point. We're doing a good job of just uncovering everything, and I guess one of the big points is in this game, it's all about just, real estate, location, Dune, Spice Wars, expansion. That's pretty much it. There's no two ways about it. It is always just going to be about that expanding. So now that we've secured up this position towards the north, we are going to be A-okay. We're going to reunite all of our troops together, and I think we start pushing on, and I think we even might look to go do a little bit of... Let's see if we can find... where's the nearest settlement that we can attack? Maybe down here, but I think we want this one, don't we? I think we want to take this one. I'm kind of thinking of stealing some people's stuff. Let's do it. You know what? Let's just send everybody down here. We'll send them down for a little bit of an attack. So now that we've managed to capture up this city, this town, which is called Araga, we are going to be able to drop down a... where is it? Here. A fuel cell factory, which is going to give us more fuel cells. And by having more fuel cells, we're going to be able to get more construction online, or more of these guys, which is how you make your money over here. These little fellas right here, the harvesters together with the refineries, these guys. So refineries can only be used on spice. And so that's essentially what we're looking for. So ideally, I should actually come down here and do a bit more exploring. We've found more spice. And not only have we found spice, but we've actually see our our allies, or not our allies, but the fellow players in the game. So you can see we've got the smugglers here, and we've got the Fremen here. And so that's these guys up in the top right-hand corner. So these are the Fremen, I think. And these are the smugglers.
Get to business.
And these are the Atreides. And so that's how you interact with them. I would not be surprised at this point in time if you guys are just overwhelmed with the amount of information that has come in. And for that, I do apologize, because it does take a lot of time. I do appreciate that. But it took me about an hour. Once I got up to about an hour, I actually started feeling pretty competent with it. And I was pretty happy with how it was going. But we're going to be moving down towards this southern position. We're going to be looking to come in here, cause a little bit of damage. We've got our units on the backside. We're going to do some research at the same time. So we've done these two. So I might look to go... Maybe we go over here. What can we do? Minus 15% authority cost to annex a village. Yo, why didn't I do that first? That seems like such... You're telling me I've been paying a premium this entire time for annexing villages? Because that's what I've been doing, right? I've been annexing villages, yeah? I'm pretty sure, like, that's what it is, right? Like, that's annex. It says take control, but I'm assuming annex and take control are the same thing. What do we got going on? Oh no, a sandworm. Oh no, a sandworm. Oh no, get out of there, John! Get out! Hurry, 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 hurry! Okay, you gotta try and beat the sandworm, because so essentially you can make it so it's automatically done, but it will reduce your income. Basically, it's like you can turn on your sandworm sensors, and you essentially it's just going to drain your battery, and so you have to you're going to be getting less of your resource. And you can see right now my money is going to be starting to go down the hill, just because I'm not going to be getting my spice in, and spice is what I really need. So we're gonna redeploy this guy, just because the threat of the sandworm has gone. We've got an inactive harvester. Oh, thanks. I didn't realize John wasn't working. It wasn't like, it wasn't like there was any kind of threat of a sandworm potentially coming in. But now you can see that, the real struggle, the real cap for us expanding and continuing to expand here is going to be that authority. So it's all about getting that up. But now you can see spice production. What do we got here? They want us to, so we are making progress. The last thing, so these are like your goals to achieve. So they want us to construct a spice, or a refinery in the village near the spice field. So that is this, I'm assuming it's this one over here, over towards the west, and that's what we'll be looking to do. We've also got, so this is like a quest that comes up, so you can see it's got 11 days remaining on it. So I can research one of 2 new developments, or I can do a prototype. Find and resolve 2 crashed ornithopter discoveries. You have less than 5 ornithopters. So I can do that one, but I need to go and find them. So if I find my own ornithopters, I can see that here we've got a crashed shuttle. So that's a crashed shuttle, not a crashed ornithopter. What's that right there? That's an abandoned camp. What have we got here? A harvester wreck. That sounds interesting. Another harvester wreck. And then another harvester wreck. We might have to send out our dudes just to go and do a little bit more inquisition and find out exactly, or a little bit more inquiry is probably the better word, not inquisition. We're not that crazy. But that is essentially it for the moment. So we're going to be working towards this. It's still a bit of a struggle. You can see we don't have too long before we get there. And now our income is in a really good spot. You can see our plascrete's quite high. And hold on, industrial regulations. Wait, what? They voted? Did I forget to vote? I think I forgot to vote. Those bastards. What? They put industrial regulations on me? Just because I'm a big man? Because I like a succulent Chinese meal? What? So essentially there's a council. The way that it works is all 4 members of, of Dune essentially come together and they form a council. And if there is one player in particular that is a little bit stronger than the others, then people will look to put sanctions upon them. And I have been sanctioned unfairly, I will say. Point of interest has been investigated, so it looks like it is going to be leftover spice. Oh, don't mind that one. Thank you very much. 71 spice. No one's going to say no to a good little bit of spice, are they?
Ready for destruction.
But we're going to take control of this point, and then we're going to look to try and get out over onto the other side. We're continuing to siege, and now we're going to be able to continue researching. So what other things have we got in here for research? So we got Paracompass, so 30% recon speed of points of interest. So we just did a point of interest, so that would be, you know, one of the things. Minus 20% military units water upkeep. I didn't even realize they had. It kind of makes sense, right? They got a drink. And minus 20% water upkeep on villages. That sounds pretty good. And local hubs. So extra knowledge per village and extra percentage of resource production in villages with exactly one building. I don't know how I feel about that. Like, that's very specific. Let's go for water seller contractors. I like that. All right, we're going to take control down here. We're going to be able to get the rare elements, and we've unlocked the processing plant. You guys remember earlier, we did do a little bit of research to unlock the processing plant down here. So we're going to be able to take control down here. And hold on a minute. Oh yeah, it takes time. It takes time to capture. I was trying to work it out. All right, what do we got? Oh shit, we just got 92 authority from doing that? There you go. That is what I'm talking about right there. What do we get from this one? We got more leftover spice. I like it. I like it. Let's head back down to here. This guy's going to continue investigating, and you can just send them off into the corner of the map, and they will do their own investigating. So you can do auto recon. I would not recommend that though. But like as an example, if I just click this guy and tell him to come here, he'll come here, and then he'll go and be like, oh, okay. You can see like there was a command issued, and he goes straight there, and he does his thing. But let's go. We're going to head over towards... I want to look to capture up this point. Now, another thing to note is you do not need to actually connect your land between these. But the problem is, remember we talked about it a little bit earlier, the concept of supplies. So essentially, your guys have got a specific amount of supplies that they can have outside of the outside of your territory. And if you go outside that territory, then it's going to mean that those supplies begin to dwindle. And the longer the run, then as a result, it means the more supplies you're going to be spending. So what we're going to drop here, a processing plant, right? Here we go. That's what I'm talking about. Plus 30 Solari. Don't mind if I do. Look at that. Holla, holla, get dollar. Now, what else have we got going on here? We got one ex-scientist. Oh, here we go. We've researched new developments, so we're going to claim that with 3 days left. Thank you very much. We just got ourselves a whole bunch of Solari, which is the currency. This one here is like your manufacturing. So, or your, as we said earlier, your iron ore is a decent way. Damn, we are actually cashed up right now. I want to continue scouting down towards the south because we do have the potential for people to be down here. And when it comes to enemies, you guys know, I don't like keeping them that close. But I'll show you what happens. We'll go on a little bit of a suicide run. Okay, let's say we want to go and take this. There are two factors that are going to be affecting our supplies. Number one is the distance that it takes us to get there. Number two is going to be the wind. So the windier that somewhere is, then the faster you're going to chew through supplies because that wind is going to be hitting you hard. And as soon as we are across the border, you can see our supplies begin to dwindle. And it's dwindling very quickly. So we can try and make it to Urdak and look to take them out. And then from there, we can look to leapfrog down here because I don't think we'd be able to do it. Maybe there's a technology or something like that that reduces the difficulty with it, but now we're going to be involved in a bit of combat here. Everyone's going to be moving forward into position, and you can see that we're now slowly but steadily losing our supply. It is continuing to go down. So this is the land grab. I call it the land grab council. Because there was a card in Age of Empires 3 called Land Grab. So this is essentially what the resolutions are going to be, and you can choose whether you want to support these or whether you want to be against them. So you can reduce the Solari upkeep for everything. You can reduce the minus 30% unit power, and so you can see now the voting period has now opened. The elected faction gains a 30% authority production. Fuck yeah, dude! Hook me up with that. I'm going to put all of my votes in that bad boy. I don't really care about that much about these two. It's not a big deal, but I really want this because the more authority that I'm producing, then the more things I'm going to be able to take. And you can see I'm actually missing out. I'm missing out some water. So hold on a minute. Raid detected. Oh, no. Oh, that ain't good. All right, guys, get up there. We're going to leave. Who are we leaving down here? John, you stay in here. You just hold everybody down for the moment, John. So this guy is just going to chill, leaving this like that. And wait. Resource deficit. You have no water left. -6. Oh, because they're raiding our water supply. Okay. We need water and we need it stat. All right. This has got a wind strength of 5. Okay, we're gonna put our water here. Wind trap. All right. So we're good here. We're good here. We're good for now. What is this? Harvester wreck. Let's get this guy back here to do it. Let's see where he is. He's up over here. This guy's down the bottom. That's got 4 locals in it. That is a lot. That's 4 militia in there. That is big. That's going to be hard to take. So that little number that you're seeing there is how many forces they've got in it. So when you see that 2, it means that there's 2 in there. When there's 3 or 4, then that means that there's 3 or 4 guys. Hey, you guys got to get up there. We need to try and take that out. So we might get a couple more units out as well, just because we're somewhat struggling right now. So I don't think we can actually get these guys. House Guard? We need 5 water. Oh, we don't have any water. Oh, we don't have water. Oh, this is not good. I'm feeling trade request. Do you have water? Oh, he wants some of my my iron ore. Yeah, buddy, why not? You can have some iron ore. Sure. I kind of need water though. Oh no. Oh no. He's got no water. He died in the middle of the It's good game. What do I do? My guys died of water because of the raid up towards the north, which was stopping the water production. And now, because my guys are dead, my only military left are these dudes down here. But they're going to be running out of water soon anyway. Oh, we've got a water positive. Hold on, I don't know how All right, fellas. Well, I hope you guys have enjoyed the first look at Dune Spice Wars. I'm going to be calling a good game here. I've been beaten by the AI. Look, I probably spread myself a little bit too thick. If you're interested in seeing more Dune Wars, let me know down in the comments, because I tell you what, I've been having a lot of fun with it. I'm a big fan of RTS games, as you guys know. My main game, Age of Empires 4, but I also love 4X games. I got heavily into Civilization 5 and 6. Obviously love playing it as Australia. Big into Stellaris. You know, all those types of 4X games I'm very big into. So let me know if you'd like to see more, because I'd be more than happy to post them up on the channel. I've had a blast doing this, and I'll leave a link in the description to where you can grab it on Steam as well. It is in early access, but thank you so much for watching. If you have made it all the way to the end of the video, then leave a like if you've enjoyed watching the video. If you haven't, leave a dislike, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Thank you for watching. I'm just gonna quit out of the game right now because I lost.